Hey everybody, and welcome back to Your Brain Lied. I'm so glad you're tuning in again. We're going to dive into something today that I think pretty much everyone struggles with at some point in their career. Asking for a raise. It sounds simple enough, right? You've been working hard, you've contributed to the company, you deserve more money. But for so many of us, it feels like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops. Why is that? What is it about this seemingly straightforward business transaction that can trigger so much anxiety, fear, and even shame? That's what we're going to unpack today. We're going to explore the hidden emotional roadblocks that can trip us up when it comes to advocating for ourselves financially. And more importantly, we're going to talk about how to dismantle those roadblocks so you can confidently ask for what you're worth. Let's start with the shame. Yeah, shame. It might seem like a strong word, but think about it. How many times have you downplayed your accomplishments at work, or brushed off a compliment with a self-deprecating joke? Oh, it was nothing. Anyone could have done it. We do this all the time, and often without even realizing it. But these little moments of self-minimization chip away at our sense of self-worth. They reinforce the idea that we're not really that valuable, that we don't really deserve recognition, let alone more money. And that, my friends, is fertile ground for shame to take root. It's like we're carrying around a secret belief that we're somehow fooling everyone, that we're an imposter who's about to be exposed at any moment. And the thought of asking for a raise brings that fear bubbling to the surface. Who am I to ask for more money? They'll see right through me. The fear, of course, is a huge player in this whole drama. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of being seen as greedy or demanding. These fears can be paralyzing. They can keep us stuck in a job we're unhappy with, earning less than we deserve, simply because the thought of asking for more is too terrifying to contemplate. Think about it like this. Your brain is wired to protect you from perceived threats. And for some people, the thought of asking for a raise registers as a major threat. It triggers the same fight-or-flight response that you might experience if you were confronted by a bear in the woods. Okay, maybe not quite that intense, but the underlying mechanism is the same. Your heart starts racing, your palms sweat, your mind goes blank. You imagine all the worst-case scenarios, your boss laughing in your face, telling you you're easily replaceable, or even firing you on the spot. These imagined consequences, however unlikely, feel incredibly real and powerful, and they can be enough to keep you from ever even broaching the subject of a raise. Now let's talk about self-worth. This is the bedrock of the whole issue. Your self-worth is your internal sense of how valuable and deserving you are. It's the foundation upon which you build your confidence, your relationships, and yes, your career. If you have a strong sense of self-worth, you're much more likely to believe that you deserve to be paid fairly for your work. You're more likely to advocate for yourself, to negotiate your salary, and to walk away from a job that doesn't value your contributions. But if your self-worth is shaky, if you harbor doubts about your abilities and your value, you're going to struggle to ask for a raise. You might even feel like you're not worthy of more money, that you should just be grateful to have a job at all. It's like trying to build a skyscraper on a foundation of sand. It's just not going to work. Your inner doubts will sabotage your efforts every step of the way. Let me paint a couple of pictures here. Two different people in similar situations, but with very different underlying beliefs about their worth. Let's call them Sarah and Mark. Sarah is a marketing specialist who has been with her company for 3 years. She consistently exceeds her performance goals, she's a team player, and she's always willing to go the extra mile. But when it comes time for her annual review, she hesitates to ask for a raise. She tells herself things like, "I don't want to seem greedy," or "What if they say no?" or "Maybe I should just be happy I have a job." Deep down, Sarah doubts her own value. She compares herself to her colleagues and worries that she's not as talented or as productive as they are. She discounts her own accomplishments and focuses on her perceived flaws. As a result, she ends up accepting a smaller raise than she deserves, feeling resentful and undervalued. Now let's look at Mark. Mark is also a marketing specialist with 3 years at his company. He also consistently exceeds his performance goals. He's a team player, and he's always willing to go the extra mile. When it comes time for his annual review, Mark feels confident about asking for a raise. He's prepared a list of his accomplishments, he's researched industry salary standards, and he's ready to make a strong case for why he deserves more money. He knows his worth, and he's not afraid to ask for it. Mark believes in his abilities. He knows he brings value to the company, and he's not afraid to negotiate for what he deserves. Even if his boss initially balks at his request, Mark remains calm and assertive. He presents his arguments clearly and confidently, and ultimately secures a significant raise. The difference between Sarah and Mark isn't their skills or their experience, it's their underlying sense of self-worth. Sarah's low self-worth held her back, while Mark's strong self-worth propelled him forward. So how do we start building that solid foundation of self-worth? It's not an overnight fix, but it's absolutely possible. It takes conscious effort, self-compassion, and a willingness to challenge those negative beliefs that are holding you back. One of the most effective strategies is to actively challenge your inner critic, that little voice in your head that's constantly telling you you're not good enough. When you catch yourself thinking negative thoughts, ask yourself, is this really true? Is there any evidence to support this belief? Or am I just being overly critical of myself? Often you'll find that those negative thoughts are based on outdated beliefs or irrational fears. They're not based on reality. Once you start questioning those thoughts, you can begin to replace them with more positive and realistic ones. Another powerful technique is to focus on your strengths. Make a list of all the things you're good at, both personally and professionally. What are your talents? What are your accomplishments? What do people appreciate about you? Refer to this list regularly, especially when you're feeling down or doubting yourself. Remind yourself of all the things you have to offer the world. It's like building your own personal highlight reel. It's also important to practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. We all make mistakes. We all have flaws. That's part of being human. Don't beat yourself up over your shortcomings. Instead, learn from your mistakes and move on. Think of it like this. You wouldn't yell at a child who was learning to ride a bike every time they fell down. You would offer encouragement and support. Treat yourself with the same compassion. When it comes to actually asking for a raise, preparation is key. Do your research. Find out what people in your position, with your experience and skills, are earning in your industry and location. There are tons of websites and resources available that can help you with this. Then, prepare a list of your accomplishments and contributions to the company. Be specific. Quantify your results whenever possible. Instead of saying, I improved customer satisfaction, say I improved customer satisfaction scores by 15%. Practice your pitch. Rehearse what you're going to say to your boss. This will help you feel more confident and less nervous when the time comes. You can even practice with a friend or family member. And finally, remember that you are valuable. You deserve to be paid fairly for your work. Don't let fear or shame hold you back from advocating for yourself. You have the right to ask for what you're worth. So, what are some practical things you can take away from this conversation today? Here are a few ideas to get you started. First, make a list of your accomplishments from the past year. Really take some time to think about all the things you've achieved, both big and small. This will not only boost your confidence, but also give you concrete evidence to support your case for a raise. Second, identify one limiting belief you have about your worth. What's that little voice in your head telling you? Challenge that belief. Ask yourself, is it really true? Is there any evidence to support it? What would you tell a friend who had the same belief? Finally, schedule a time to have a conversation with your boss about your compensation. Even if you're not ready to ask for a raise right away, starting the conversation is a step in the right direction. You can use this as an opportunity to discuss your performance, your goals, and your future with the company. Remember, building self-worth and overcoming fear is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and never stop advocating for yourself. Thanks for tuning in to Your Brain Lied. I hope this episode has given you some food for thought and some practical tools to help you navigate the tricky world of career advancement. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.